Okay, guys. APR, annual percentage rate, is the true annual rate of interest being charged for borrowing money. Okay. APR, you're losing money. AER, you're getting money. That is the only difference. In fact, you don't even need to know the difference. Each question will say AER or APR, and it'll say whether it's an investment or a loan. So it doesn't actually affect you in any way, shape, or form. Right? Now, let's have a look. Given an AER, I've already forgotten what AER is. Right? Still forgotten. Invested. It's money they're giving me. Happy days. Don't need to learn it off by heart. Now, there's a formula. Final is equal to what? P 1 plus I to the power of T. And what we have here is, to correct the two decimal places, find the final value invested for T years. Is that right? So let's do this. F equals P. P is 5 grand. 1 plus I. 1. Now what's the I value, lads? In decimals? Lads, if I was 5%, it actually gives you this in your tables. If I was 5%, it would be 0.05. But I is 2.5%, so what do you reckon the I value is? 0.025. What happens when you add that to 1? 1.025 to the power of what? 8. We okay with that? Okay. Now, wait, that's not what I'm looking for. Throw it into the calculator. Okay. And actually, I'm going to use the table function for the crack. I'm going to use x. See 1 plus I? Actually, yeah, I'll use that as 1.025. And I'm going to show you a bit of a bonus question while I'm here. To the power of x. I'm going to start at 0. I'm going to end at, I don't know, we're going to end at about 10. Okay. Step of 1. And we want that for 8 years, don't we? And what's it after 8 years? €6,092 and what's it, 1 cent? Is that right? €6,092 and 1 cent. Alright. Now, somebody mentioned logs earlier. Okay. Imagine you had another question underneath. Alright. And you can get the answer using your table function, right? What I'm going to ask you is, after how many years did you have €6,400 and 42 cents? Is everybody okay with that? So the next question is, after how many years did you have €6,400 and 42 cents? You all right with that? We already know the answer is going to be 10. Is that okay? Now, how would you do that without the table function? Right? So here's what you do instead. Ready for this? We replace this with T. I'll just use capital T, okay? We all good? What do we replace the F value with? 6,442 cents, right? The variable is in the power position. What does that mean you do? Log, right? Now, for argument's sake, I'm going to do this just in case you happen to make the mistake, alright? Now, the most common mistake, and I see it with the 5th years, I saw with you guys in any Christmas test you do, you make this mistake all the time, and we want to try and beat it out of you that it's not going to happen again, okay? So what is the most common mistake everybody makes here? Can anybody tell me? They try to move, sorry, that's written wrong. They try to move the T. Why are you not allowed to move that T? Why is the T unmovable at the moment? It's not 5,000 to the power of T. It's only the 1.025 to the power of T. So that's not going to work out. If you were to do logs, you'd have to use the multiplication rule. And you'd have to split the logs like that. Now you could move that T to the front. Do you get what I'm saying? That's a lot more work than doing what? What should I have done at the 2 steps ago? Well, it'd been a lot better than going through all that nonsense. Just divide by 5,000. So what is 6,442 divided by 5,000, please? Will you do that for me really quickly?
1.28.
1 point?
1.28.
Give me some more decimals just in case.
0084.
Oh, 0. Oh, well damn, we'll leave it. Alright. Now, what do I do to both sides? Log any one you want. Any log you want. Alright, so we'll just go log base 10. Sure, why not? And then what happens to the t now? The t will migrate to the front. And then what's our answer then? Log 1.28 divided by? Anybody? Yeah. And what's the answer? Hoping 10.
It's like 9.999.
Hopefully that's close enough to you to 10 to accept it. Alright, so the answer is 10. Is that alright with you guys? Alright. We all good? Alrighty. Now, alright, so f equals p 1 plus I to the power t. Yes? F is the final amount, P is the amount you invest at the start, I is the interest you're given, and T is the amount of time that it's invested in the bank or whatever, whatnot. Now, we know T equals what, guys? 10. Find the present value of 10,000 due to be paid in 10 years' time. Out of interest. Lads, if a bank offers a discount rate of 4.2%, find the present value of 10,000 euro due to be paid in 10 years' time. This means that in 10 years' time, lads, in 10 years' time, you're expected to have 10 grand. Does that make sense? So your final amount is 10 grand. See the way I said present value and then P is the present? That's what just threw me for a second. So you're expected to have 10,000 euro in 10 years' time. Now the great thing about money is you'll often have this. Let's say you owe somebody, 10 million in 5 years' time. You can actually give them like 6 million today, and what they do is they invest that 6 million and it becomes 10 million in 10 years' time. So anybody who has over like €1 million, money is really easy to make because anytime you invest, it just builds and builds and builds. Okay? If you invest 100 quid, you might only end up with an extra euro the next year. Well, if you invest $1 million, you'll end up with an extra 10 grand. So it's sort of like a snowball effect. But anyways, back to the question. We had to find out what money we need to invest to turn that into 10 grand. Alright? 1.042 to the power 10. Bring this underneath. Divide 10,000 by 1.042 to the power 10. Okay, and your answer, I already have it done here. Your answer will be 6,627 and 9 cents. Well, good. Alright. So, they don't need to give you this, by the way. They tend to give it, but they don't need to give that. Okay? So, imagine we had 100 quid. Okay? And we invested it for 1 year. So do you know what that means is you only get your money at the end of the year. It's not a gradual growth. Do you know where you start on 100 and it eventually increases all the way to, what's 6% of €100? It's not like that it gradually increases. It's actually just two data points that are completely separate from each other because you don't get the money until the end of the year. So you actually can't link them together because you can't say, oh, in June I'll have €103. It doesn't work like that. You have all of it and then literally December 31st, oh, there's 6 quid. Start it off next year. Is that alright? So it's not continuous data. It's just separate data there, okay? Now, next thing. If I multiply 100 by 1.06 to the power of 1, why is it to the power of 1? 1 year. I get €106. Is that okay with you guys? Now, what we're trying to find out next is, excuse me lads, what we're trying to find out next is, how do monthly increases work for this? So, imagine I had €100, but instead of doing one increase, I'm going to do 12 separate increases. Does everybody get that? 12 separate increases, and I'll pick a letter, any letter I'm choosing, I'll just call it B. B to the power of 12. And that will also equal €106. Why does it have to equal €106? It has to be the same as if you got 6% extra. Then you go B to the power of 12 is, what's 106 divided by 100? 1.06. That brings you up here. 1 plus I is 1.06. That's to the power of 12. My B letter, what does my B letter actually represent? My B letter represents 1 plus R, where R is the monthly rate. Is that okay? R is the monthly rate. Now we're going to 12 root this, or what's the other way of doing it if you're used to complex numbers? To the power of 1 over 12, or 12 root it, whichever one you want. Okay? So shift 12 root it, and we 12 root 1.06. We get an answer bigger than 1. What's the answer here? 1.00487. 1.00487. Okay, now look at this answer. What does 1.1 represent? 10% per month. What does 1.01 represent? 1%. What does this represent? 0.487 of a percentage. If you aren't sure about that, I'll use 4 instead. 1.4 would be 40%, 1.04 would be 4%, 1.004 would be 0.4 of a percent. And that's my answer for that. Now, if you want to check your answer, look at this really quickly. Ready? €100 multiplied by 1.00487. That's 1 month's worth of interest. Now I'm going to do 2 months of interest. 1 sec. That's 2 months of interest. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 leads you all the way back up to 106. For homework tonight, here's what you're going to do. You're going to do 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13 and 15. 2, what do I do? 2, 10 and 15.